Buongiorno e buonasera. Hello and welcome to the kickoff of the 2016 Putnam County Columbus Day festivities. My name is Giulio Cefaloni. I am the chairman of the festivities, and this year, once again, I will be your host. We are indeed delighted to be producing this show again this year. We hope you enjoy getting to know our marshals, our special honorees, our Miss Columbus, and our Little Miss Columbus. On behalf of our sponsor, the Italian American Club of Mahopac, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all. By the way, to change things a bit this year, we are filming the show at the club. And now a few words in italiano. Ciao e benvenuti al nostro programma di Columbus Day qui a Putnam County. Ogni anno il club italo-americano di Mahopac festeggia Colombo con tante attività. Speriamo che le feste di quest'anno vi piacciono. Venite a celebrare e a divertirvi con noi. Ciao e a presto. Please welcome the Vice President of the Italian American Club, Thomas Phelan, who will speak to you about our club. Tom?
Thank you, Giulio. Good evening. Thank you, Giulio. Good evening. In 1927-28, a group of Italian Americans wanted to help out other Italian families who had emigrated to Mahopac before the Depression. When there were hardships, the Italian community gave aid to those in need. This gave rise and birth to the Italian American Club of Mahopac. It's interesting to note that also giving aid to the community, keeping the community in mind, started a long time ago, but our club was based on that, and it continues into today. From dances held to raise money for this benefit in the Bucks Hollow Road area to the building of a clubhouse, which now stands here at 141 Bucks Hollow Road in Mahopac, many years have passed. In 1931, a state charter was issued. 1929 is when the club was started, the building started, the construction. But 1931, the state charter was issued for this club. In the 1980s, 90s, and early 200s, under the leadership of Tony Morfeo, Guido Boniello, Luigi Cefaloni, our presidents, the club was revitalized, as it is in the present day under the present president, Giulio Cefaloni, and the board of directors, obviously. We have recently installed new kitchen, new restrooms, new landscaping, and a refurbishment of the hall. The Italian American Club promotes the Italian language and culture through a variety of programs, including Italian classes, Italian Mass, bocce tournaments, Christmas parties, picnics, and other events. In cooperation with the Chamber of Commerce, we have led the Columbus Day Parade and Street Fair and contributed to other events and have sponsored scholarships and aid to community-focused local organizations such as the Women's Resource Center, Multiple Sclerosis Society, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and this year's drug crisis in our backyard. If you want more information on the Italian American Club and how to join us in the internet at the Italian American Club of Mahopac.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. A great synopsis of what this club is all about. We are indeed externally focused, community-minded. Thank you very much, Tom. And now a few words about this year's festivities. Preparations began back in early February. The committee came together and we began to plan out the year. This year is a very, very special year for many, many reasons. I'd like to turn to Linda Cefaloni, who will explain to us what the theme of the festivities are all about this year. Linda?
Good evening. Thank you, Giulio. Each year, the Columbus Festivities Committee chooses Each year, the Columbus Festivities Committee chooses a theme to support and complement what is going on in the Putnam community and in the world at large. In the past, we have celebrated a year of exploration, where we were celebrating the 40th anniversary of man landing on the moon in conjunction with the Spirit of Discovery of Columbus. In 2012, Putnam County celebrated its bicentennial, and here we had a historical tribute to our county and also seeking a new world for our children here in Putnam County. We also celebrated the 500th anniversary of Americo Vespucci, who actually explored South America and the Caribbean. Another theme that we had was the contributions of Italian Americans, and we had the theme of Italian contributions and Italian American women contributions. And you can see from the covers of these journals that we name certain people and we celebrate the arts and the sciences, education, politics, and the contributions of various people in these categories. So those were some of the themes in the past. Last year, we were very proud to have the Year of the Family, and this was our cover last year. And we celebrated the family as the center of every other community, and also how the theme of family fits in with sustainability of our earth. So feeding the earth, taking care of our planet, and those were the themes last year. This year, as an extension of the family, we are celebrating the theme of Putnam County, a mosaic of a caring neighborhood, spotlighting many of the organizations and agencies that support and assist the residents of Putnam County. Many communities to which we belong and support us together give us a sense of belonging. And this is a draft of our book that we will be circulating at our dinner dance. So you can see that this is the cover. We have the map of Putnam County in the front, and all around the map is a mosaic of all agencies that support us. And on the back, we have circles with helping hands, and that signifies the support that we get from each other, the sense of belonging, the sense of community, that we're there for each other, whatever the needs are. I'd like to mention that on the map of Putnam County, we have 6 towns and 3 villages, Brewster, Cold Spring, and Nelsonville, and we have, as I said, the 6 towns. So it's kind of a little bit of a historical perspective of our county. We're recognizing this year on the cover as a mosaic the police in particular, the fire, ambulance, libraries, churches, hospitals, nursing homes, food pantries, all the different groups that support the people, the residents of our county. We're also mentioning the cultural groups like the Italian American Club, the Emerald Society, the German American Club, Scouts, the Chambers of Commerce, Knights of Columbus, and all the outreach agencies that whenever we have a problem that we can turn to. There's drug crisis in our backyard, the American Cancer Society, Habitat for Humanity, Putnam Northern Westchester Women's Resource Center, Pajama Program, Arms Acres, Alcoholic Anonymous, Red Cross, United Way, Family and Community Services, Community Cares, veterans. We can't forget our veterans, veteran organizations of VFW, American Legion, Wounded Warrior, our social services in the county, the Youth Bureau, the offices for people with disabilities, Green Chimneys, Catholic Charities, BOCES, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, Make-A-Wish, so many places to turn to whenever we have a need. And so we thought this year we would spotlight this mosaic, and we're very excited to have drug crisis, which is one of the contributing forces in our community, as our charity, and to have our police chief, Kazari, as our Grand Marshal, which fits in nicely with our theme of recognizing our service categories and people who sacrifice each day to make our community better and safe. So, you know, we support, we actually thank the support of all our merchants who contribute to the Journal each year. That is the way we fund the parade and the many activities associated with the Columbus festivities, the evening in the piazza, the dinner dance, and the other festivities. So we thank our local merchants who support this endeavor.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much for a great summary of what we have done over the years. We are very, very excited to have Drug Crisis in our backyard as our charity of choice this year for the club. And we have pledged to the organization that once all our bills are paid, all the expenses are paid, we hope to make a substantial contributions to the organization. A very worthy cause indeed, and a very, very hard at work in our community. The events and the fundraisers this year are many. We decided this year to rearrange some of the events that we had, given that Putnam County has invited the Fireball Run, which represents a great deal for Putnam County. The goal will be to highlight our beautiful county to the world. This is the 10th anniversary of the Fireball Run. They are an adventure travel TV series, and on Friday, September the 30th, they will come to Putnam County. They will come in their epic and beautiful cars. 40 teams will traverse Putnam County, searching for clues and discovering Putnam County's historic sites and some of the most legendary destinations that we have here in the county. This organization also will compete live for whoever gets the most of the clues. So it's almost a scavenger hunt that they will be performing. They also do a lot of charity work. And one of the charity that they do is on their cars, each car has a picture of a missing child. And as a result of their efforts, many, many missing children have been found. Thank God. So they will bring extensive press. They will stream live on the internet and on various cable stations. So in conjunction with this big event that we have starting September 30th and going all through October the 2nd, so starting Friday the 30th, going through Sunday the 2nd, we have rearranged some of the events. But before I go there, let me just say that, earlier in June, we had a beautiful pageant here at the club. We elected our Miss Columbus and Little Miss Columbus, whom you will meet very, very soon. Coming up on September 25th, on Sunday, we will have a beautiful dinner dance at Villa Barone. It is an Italian wedding. Please don't miss it. 2 o'clock is cocktail, 2 to 3, and then we have another 5 hours of great fun, open bar. Again, all these activities, like Tom mentioned, are on our website, ItalianAmericanClubOfMayapack.org. Please visit. You can purchase tickets there. You can get in touch with us. So do that. And then let's go back for a moment to the Fireball Run. On September 30th, which is a Friday, we will have our beautiful evening in the piazza right in downtown Mayapack to coincide with the Fireball Run coming into Mayapack. On Saturday, October the 1st, we will have our Columbus Day Parade, line up at 9:30 in the morning, step off at 10:30, the usual place, Lake Cassie Road and Route 6. Again, please enroll your organization so that you can march in the parade by visiting our website. And then on Sunday, October the 2nd, we have a beautiful concert and a mass at St. John the Evangelist in Mayapack. Starting at 10 o'clock, we will have the concert. At 10:45, the mass will begin. And then later on in October, we will have our tag sale on October 22nd and 23rd, and then Halloween party and many other things coming up as well. Children Christmas party, for example, is December 11th, which is a Sunday. So we have a very full calendar, and these are just some of the some of the events that we have here at the club. There are a lot more, and the calendar of events is on our website. We want to thank our partners this year for this year's festivities, the Greater Mayapack Carmel Chamber of Commerce, who will hold its very exciting street festival on Saturday, October the 1st, at 12:30, starting at 12:30 and continuing into the evening. They will have music, fun, games, and lots of food. So the parade will be in the morning, starting at 10:30, and at 12:30, the parade goes right into the festival, which will start at 12:30. So come on out, visit us, come to the parade, and then stay for the festival. At this time, I would like to thank some special people. These people are in the background, and they help me a lot. Some of them are here, Linda and Tom. But these are people that work in the background to help me do all these events. And I call these the doers. The committee to do all the Columbus Day festivities is made up of a number of individuals. I'll name them quickly because they deserve to be named. Domenico Bauco, Susanna Bertolozzi, Guido and Barbara Boniello, Louis and B. Cefaloni, Giulio and Linda Cefaloni, Juliette Cefaloni, Cheryl Comito, Joseph Coretti, Anna and Tony Crecco, Artie and Lucia De Feo, Andrew De Stefano, Josephine Egan, Frank Giordano, Louise Murray, Bonnie Palmiero, Giorgio Palmiero, Eleanor Petanei, Joanne and Tom Phelan, Annunziato Rescine, Rose Runco, Anne-Marie and Alfonso Santaniello, Nick and Phyllis Scafidi, Joe and Maria Ziolla, and Nicole Cristoforo, and there are a lot of other folks working in the background that help us with so much. I hope I didn't leave anybody out in the committee, but if I did, I'm sorry. And our cameraman, obviously, goes without saying. I will get to him. That's our great cameraman, Nick Scafidi, who does so much for the club. Okay. I want to thank at this point the Journal Committee, Linda Cefaloni, Kristen and Nick Fanin, Nick Scafidi, and the entire team for such an outstanding job on all the journals all the years. And this is a work in progress. We have not finalized it yet, but it will be just as beautiful as the other ones. Okay, we'll now take a short break, and we'll be right back. My fellow citizens of our great mosaic we call America, Americans of Italian descent and heritage, like many other immigrant groups, continue to build the fabric of this country and contribute in every walk of life. It is no different here in Putnam County. Now, I would like to introduce you to some special people. Our 2016 marshals, our Grand Marshal, Michael Casari, Chief of Police of Carmel, the Township of Carmel. We have our Honorary Grand Marshal, Diane Tarantelli, and our other Honorary Grand Marshal, Giorgio Palmiero. On my left, we have two special honorees from the drug crisis in our backyard, Susan and Steve Solomon. Next, we have our beautiful little Miss Columbus, Juliana Kurim, and our very beautiful Miss Columbus for 2016, Amanda Ippolito. Welcome to you all. Okay, what we will do now is we will try to get to know our marshals and our special honorees and our Miss Columbus. Let me tell you a little bit about our Chief of Police. Born and grew up in Lake Carmel, he has lived in Mayapack for the last 22 years. Attended Carmel schools, graduated from Carmel High School. Has been in the Carmel Police Department for 30 years, but he's only 21. He came up through the ranks. He holds the title of Chief of Police currently. and he protects all of us daily. He and his wife Doreen and 5 children live in Mayapack. His grandpa came, his paternal grandfather came from Sardinia, which is one of our second largest island in Italy. The grandfather came and he settled in Arthur Avenue area of the Bronx, and he was operating a fruit push cart when he came. Hard life, worked hard. Mike's dad was born in the Bronx. The family moved to Lake Carmel in 1963. Mike is no stranger to the community. He has been coaching baseball for many, many years, been in the ambulance corps, emergency medical technician, served on the Town of Carmel Alarm Review Board, and represented the police department on Lake Mayapack Advisory Board. In 2016, Michael was elected to the Mayapack Central School District Board of Education. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you.
An experience which I had myself for many, many years, and I congratulate you. You will be a terrific addition there. Okay, let's get to know Michael a little bit more. Michael, what interactions did you have with your grandparents, your Italian grandparents?
So, like every Italian family, every Sunday we would go to Arthur Avenue. Their apartment was right across the street from the chicken market. You remember where we used to slaughter the chickens? We would go there every Sunday, and we would have our regular Italian meal. Mm-hmm. It was a typical Italian. My dad worked Monday through Friday because he was a New York City police officer. He did traffic, so he was there before they had the traffic control people now that write the tickets and direct traffic. The city cops would do that, so he worked what they call the scooter chart days and evenings, and he actually would stay in the city and come home on the weekends
to Lake Carmel
for many years. But we would always go on Sunday and interact with our grandparents.
Great. Any food traditions that you had with your grandparents? Anything that you remember as a youngster?
No, it was your typical antipasto. It was the 27-course meal that you couldn't get up from the table afterwards. And
otherwise your grandma, you would hear grandma, right? Sit down, you got to finish the other 12 courses. Right. Now, your grandparents were from Sardinia, okay? Do you remember any cultural traditions that they may have had as Sardinian immigrants?
I actually don't. I've seen pictures of Sardinia. It's beautiful. I don't see how you could leave that beautiful island, but I guess their economy was not as thriving as ours.
Yeah. They have a lot of traditions of their own. One of the things, my sister-in-law is from Sardinia, and they make a very special bread, very hard. It's hard, even when it comes out of the oven, and it's called cucueddu. It's almost breaks off into slices when you actually eat it. It's quite good. I've had it. Did your grandparents speak their own language, Sardinian? They have their own language, which is quite established. I mean, they speak the official language of Italy, the Italian language, but they also have their own specific dialects. Did you ever hear them speak?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I know my father would speak Italian with them, but I didn't know if that was a dialect or that was regular Italian.
Okay. Have you been to Sardinia?
I've never been to Sardinia. We went on our honeymoon. My beautiful wife Doreen and I went to Rome and the Amalfi Coast, Sorrento, Naples, and Pompeii for our honeymoon, which was just such a great experience. That's something that I don't think I'll ever be able to afford now with the 5 kids. But it was wonderful. But we didn't make it to Sardinia. Okay.
Well, it's just you from Naples, Rome area. You just take a boat and you go straight across. And that's where Sardinia, you're going to hit it as you go straight across in the Tyrrhenian Sea. And we'll look at the map later.
Yeah, beautiful beaches.
Oh, beautiful beaches indeed. It is beautiful. Now, Michael, let's shift gear a little bit. What attracts you to live in our area? You were born here, and what attracts you to stay here?
it is a sense of community here. There is familiarity that, I know so many people and so many people know me. I forget the names of the actual people sometimes, but this is just such a nice place to raise your children. That's, we actually live just a few houses up from where my wife grew up in Kirk Lake. So it's that sense of the small lake communities and enjoying the beach, and it's just such a wonderful place. And as you know, the schools are
Sure.
are so great. And
Yeah.
it is one of the safest places to live.
Yeah. Thank God. Thanks to you guys.
And it's, I don't know, I think part of it also is that we don't have any highways going through, but it is just a wonderful place to live. It's, the weather, everything is just, so we chose to be here. You're close to the city, and, if you ever, you want to see a show,
Yeah.
you want to do something, and we love it here.
Good. You've been here in Mahopac for 22 years? You live here?
Carmel and Mahopac, yeah.
Okay. But you've been in the police department for 30 years. Okay? For about 30 years, right? That's a long time. How was it 30 years ago till now, going through the ranks of the police department in town of Carmel?
The police department, the former chief used to joke about that we were a family. And, I would say a dysfunctional family when he would say that, kiddingly. It really hasn't changed. The faces have changed, but really at the core, they're the same. It's the same people. They're caring, and we just hired 3 new officers, and we look to pick people that are going to fit in with our community, that are going to care about, a little old lady needs help with her groceries, or, it's not chasing bank robbers and serious things all the time. There are terrible tragedies going on, as your Christ in the Backyard people will tell you. We have an epidemic of drugs. But the people here are caring, and the police officers try to, extend that, be a community, be a family.
So you're a community police?
We strive to be there as quick as we can and to help whenever we can.
I know you do. Over the years that you were in the police department, have you ever faced any kind of discrimination because of your ethnicity or anything like that? Did you ever feel that?
No. My father, being a New York City police officer, he would often get upset about when people would talk about Italians being the mafia and the garbage. That would really irk him. I have never experienced any, to me, all people, all religions, all nationalities and races, we're all the same.
Yeah.
And, I never had any issues with anyone.
Good. Thank God. We've come a long way from 30, 40 years ago, right?
Oh, but they discriminated against the
Yeah?
Italians.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Everybody paid their dues there. I know. Now, you're a community guy. You're up and about all the time. What are the issues of this community? What do we face? What are the top 3 issues this community faces?
I would say that our biggest issue is a lack of a tax base, is what I would say our biggest issue is. We need to do something about our infrastructure, and we need to bring in business. We have great schools, we have a great place to live. I don't see why we are not bringing in some tax relief. Housing is very nice, but we really don't need that. But the drug problem really is the number one issue for us as police, and it affects. I've got close friends that their daughters have passed on, and they have babies that they're raising. It's horrible. I mean, it touches everybody. Everybody in this community has someone, either a relative or a close friend, that's either addicted or has unfortunately passed. And we're not going to arrest, and that's the problem. We're not going to arrest our way out of this situation. It's education. We just did some things in the middle school, and the Salmons, I think, were involved in that with Senator Murphy, and we have to do more. That's one of the things that I'm trying to push forward. when I finally get situated better in the school board, we need to do more. And there's, it doesn't have to be the Carmel Police Department. It can be the Salmons, it can be the sheriff or state police. I don't care who it is that gets to the children, but somebody's got to get to them.
Let's get it going.
We have to do it. It's not, I am certainly not someone that's looking for, although I'm on TV, I am not looking to be on TV. We do not need to sell ourselves, and it's not about hitting our chest. We need not smoke and mirrors. We need substantive reforms in some of the laws, and we need to do something, to get to these kids that before they become addicts. We need to get them and tell them. And I know that the pop culture, when drugs are okay, smoking marijuana is not okay. Using drugs is not okay. I'm sorry to burst the people's bubble on that. We need to tell our kids, don't use drugs, and just turning a blind eye or just saying, oh, it's a rite of passage. No. We have to do more.
You, as our police chief, I think you're in a great position to advocate reform and to advocate action. So we thank you for that.
Thank
you are, besides being obviously a police officer, now you are the leader of the police department, and we need to see that. And I know you do it, and I can't thank you enough. As a police chief, as a department, what do you need from the people? What do you need from us?
Really, we have such great support from the community. That is tremendous. The whole thing what they say about you see something, say something, that really, it isn't just a saying. It is true. If, it used to be that you knew all your neighbors, and now, I know my wife has to work, your wife works, both parents are working. It's really hard. It's hard to get to know your neighbor because they're, in the city or they're in White Plains or somewhere. But knowing your neighbors and knowing when something isn't right is really important. And tell the police that there's a strange car. There was a woman at my door today about they're doing work down the road and all that stuff. Or the blacktop people are showing up all the time. Oh, can we blacktop your driveway? Call the police about those people when they come, because a lot of times, just like the telephone scams with the IRS and all that nonsense that goes on, these people are not really selling magazines. They're trying to get in your house and steal your valuables. And you see something, or if you have a elderly neighbor or something, try to keep an eye out for them. Just be the police cannot be everywhere. If we're lucky, there's 3 of them on the road in this big town with all these people. We need you to be our eyes and ears and say there's something going on. I think that there's, we had some people that have passed recently from the drug problem, and people come forward. Oh, I think this person was dealing drugs. Tell us before there's a problem. We're not going to put your name in the paper and say that it was Cefaloni that told us. We're going to keep it quiet. You can be anonymous, but tell us what's going on, because we care and we want to do something about it.
I understand. Michael, I'm going to ask you a question that's not so politically correct, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How do you react to the disdain that some of these fanatics have for the police officers these days? You see them on television, you see them in the newspapers, you read in the newspapers. How do you and your department reacts to that?
I can't speak for the department, but I can speak from a personal. It's really wrong. There are people out there, and there's always been these people that cause trouble, these rabble-rousers, to make a name for themselves or their political agenda. There are people that hate the police, and you really, it's sad when they get other people maybe not as well informed, or maybe jump to conclusions. They just had this in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact facts of what went on, but that was an armed person that was shot.
Yeah.
To burn the place down because an armed individual was shot. It's not about race and color.
Yeah.
That's a bad person.
Yeah.
And that's what I say about see something, say something. If a bad person is in your neighborhood, you have to let the police know, and you have to, and there's so many good people out there, but it's horrible that they're targeting the police, and there's some real bad people politically high up that just fuel that fire for their own.
Throw gasoline on it.
Yeah, they want to be either anti-gun or they're pro-drug, whatever their agenda. They're using the police, and it's unfortunate because.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know something. The Italian American Club of Mayapack is behind you. We support you all the way, you as a chief and your department. If there's anything that we could ever do to help the morale, please let us know. We are behind you. I know the community is behind you, so you guys should feel great about that. What does it mean having been chosen Grand Marshal for 2016 to you?
I don't like the limelight, but it's a great honor. I know that that my father he belonged to Italian American Club. I remember going to Brewster to things with him, and the Sons of I think it's the Sons of Italy.
Sons of Italy, yep.
My daughter won. My oldest, that's a senior in college at Siena. She actually won one of those awards from that organization.
Very
from
nice.
People that knew him.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he would be so proud that. that I was chosen Grand Marshal and our heritage and stuff. It is a great honor, and I do appreciate it. I don't like it, but I do appreciate it very much.
The honor is ours. So thank you very much, Michael.
Well, thank you.
The honor is ours, and we are going to have a lot of fun at the other events that are coming up. So we thank you for coming in today and sharing a couple of minutes with us. I reiterate, the Italian American Club and me personally, we're all behind you and your department. Please let us know if we can ever do anything for you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you, Michael. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm sitting here with our two honorary Grand Marshals, Diane Tarantelli to my left and Giorgio Palmiero to my right. We'll go to Diane first, and let me tell you a little bit about Diane. Diane was born in the Bronx, lived on Willett Avenue in the Bronx. Parents Antonio and Anna Crecco are from Velletri, the region of Lazio, which is where Rome is located. They moved to Mayapack in 1978. Diane attended Mayapack Central School District schools, graduated from Mayapack High School in 1986. She's a youngster. In 1991, she graduated from Mercy College with a degree in accounting. Diane has worked at Citicorp Leasing, and currently works for Irwin Franchise Capital Corporation?
No, PCSB Bank.
Oh, that's it. Irwin Franchise Capital Corporation, and then she moved to Putnam County Savings Bank. Very good. Thank you, Diane, for correcting me. Family, Antonio and Anna are the parents. They're members of the Italian American Club. Umberto and Onoria are grandparents. Umberto and Onoria Crecco, paternal grandparents. Loreto and Giuseppe Iannucci, maternal grandparents. In 1993, she met the love of her life, Antonio Tarantelli, whom she married. Still married to him.
Yes.
He must be a good guy. Diane and Antonio have had some... Anthony. Let's call him Anthony. All right. For today, I call him Anthony. Diane and Anthony have had some real tragedies in their life. They lost two children, Maria and Angela. And on December 1st, 2005, they did get a beautiful surprise. His name is Stefano. He was born. Diane is very, very active with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, our charity, I think, 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. We donated extensively to that charity as well, and we had a great time here with all the events. Diane, take us back growing up in an Italian household. What was it like?
I remember it was just fun. When I grew up on Willett Avenue, we lived with my grandparents, Umberto and Onoria, so I grew up with them. It was just a really different time, even, very family-oriented. We were always together. I just remember parties and get-togethers. It was just fun.
We still have those, right?
We still do, but yeah, life gets in the way.
Why was the Italian language so important to you? I know you mentioned in your biography that the Italian language was very important to you. Why?
It was important for all of us, like first generation here, because my grandparents, all four of them, came to this country, and as well as my parents, and did not speak English, and never learned it, because we all learned Italian, you know, our dialect, but we learned it and we understand it. So it was easy for them not to learn English because we spoke Italian, which was great. It was a great gift that you don't really realize.
And you still speak it?
Yes.
Which
well,
is
I try.
You do very.
When the grandparents
Should we
aren't
continue the
around.
interview in Italian? Talk to us about traditions in your family. Food traditions, festival traditions.
We have a lot of traditions that I try to keep going, that my mom has taught. You know, like at Christmas, we have the honey balls, and it's not Christmas without it. At Easter, we have lamb or goat. You know, that those are the traditions that we had. Just things like that. We just, you know, on Fat Tuesday, we make a different kind of, not a honey ball, but it's a different kind of dessert that can only be eaten on that day.
Oh.
You can't eat it the next day. It's like all these rules.
What if there's
but we do it-
leftovers?
No, you cannot eat it on Ash Wednesday. You can eat it on Thursday.
Well, maybe I should come over and eat them. I help you eat them then.
Yeah, it's like crazy, but like I live by it. I try to keep it alive.
Diane, let's change gears a little bit. You've had some real tragedies, you and Anthony. Talk to us about what courage and stamina, where does it come from? Where does it come from? How do you survive with these tragedies? And how do you, Stefano's a special needs child.
Yes.
Where do you get the courage and the stamina to withstand all this that you've gone through?
I think that it comes from my parents, because I had a brother who, you know, was born in 1973 and then had a lot of what my son have. But he was more disabled. And he lived only till he was 6. And I was 10 when he passed away. But, you know, as a little girl, you really don't know what your parents go through. But I just felt like they never showed me, you know, obviously they were sad, but they've always been upbeat with me, or,
Positive.
you know, positive, very positive all the time, all the time. And then when tragedy hit me, it kind of put into perspective like what my parents went through. And it gave me like more respect for them, because they didn't let it bring it down. Like, it's tragic, but they rose above it. And I
Yep.
try to live my life that way.
Listen, I know your parents
Yeah.
for many, many years, and I've known you for many years. But reading through your biography that you gave me, I said, I have so much to learn from Diane and Anthony. There's so much for me to learn. Where they get their courage and their stamina. It's a reservoir that never ends, it seems. So I want to congratulate you on
Well,
that.
thank you. I try to be positive.
You guys are role models.
Thank
You
you.
really are. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Tell us about Make-A-Wish. What
Yeah.
makes you want to do Make-A-Wish stuff with them? Why?
In 2012, we were given this amazing gift, is all I can say, a gift of a lifetime. They gave my son and our family a trip to Disney, which I think just changed my life that day, or that trip, and the whole process of getting there, and what Make-A-Wish did for me. I felt like it just was, I needed to give back. As hectic as my life is with Stefano, and he has seizures, and it, you know, not easy, but I felt like too many good things happened to me, and that organization, what they did for my son and my family, I will remember it till the day I die. It was just, it's as if it happened yesterday.
I remember you coming back
It
and
just-
talking to us about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was just amazing, and now I try my best. I started volunteering. I went full into like trying to better myself, to give back, to pay it forward.
What's this thing about paying it forward? What does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like I want somebody to get the experience that I got, that changed it literally changed my life. And I don't even know how to thank people enough for it.
Talk to us about Stefano's Angels. What's that all about?
Yeah, so Make-A-Wish every year has, they do a walk at FDR Park in Yorktown. And when we came back from our trip, I found out about this walk that they do in November. This year it's in late October, but November. And I decided that I wanted to start a team for my son. So myself and my manager that I work with, we were like trying to figure out a name, and we came up with Stefano's Angels. So what I did was I bought shirts for everybody who walked, and I put, Stefano's Angels, a logo on it, Make-A-Wish on the back. And every year for the past 4 years, this will be a fifth, we have like 30 or 40 people that'll walk, and we've raised a lot, like enough money, to give back and have somebody else have a trip of a lifetime, a dream of whatever they want to give back.
Good.
And that's what I did, and we do it every year for my son.
I'd like to offer you the services of the club. Come and talk to us about it before the walk. We would love to join you.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Reading through your biography, I felt like Diane and Anthony feel blessed. Do you feel blessed?
Yes.
Why?
As tough as life is with my son, I feel like I am not going to say poor me, or he is a blessing. I have met, because of him and his situation, and I have met amazing people I probably never would have ever encountered in my life. And it's a blessing.
A lot of faith. You have a lot of faith.
Yeah, he's my joy.
You have a lot of faith. Tell us what it means to you to be the honorary Grand Marshal for this year.
It was an honor. I didn't even expect it. It was, just an honor to do it, and my parents were honorary Grand Marshals. So I felt like, what a great thing. It was just, thank you so much. It was just an honor to be chosen.
We should thank you because you represent us well, and you pick us up. You pick us up because of your positive attitude. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You indeed pick us up. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know our Giorgio Palmiero, our second honorary Grand Marshal. Let me tell you a little bit about Giorgio. Giorgio is an immigrant, and he found the American dream. Let me tell you about Giorgio. Came from Decorata, which is part of Colle Sanniti, near Benevento, the provincia di Benevento in Italy. He was raised on a farm, worked on a farm very hard, and he's got hard hands to prove it. He settled in Morris Park Avenue section of the Bronx, a beautiful area, Giorgio. He walked to school, and his favorite subject in Italy was history. At 14, he started working in construction. He became a mason, trained as a mechanic. In the U.S., when he came in the U.S., he joined the Bricklayers Union. In 1970, worked at Montefiore Hospital in the engineering department. In 1980, Giorgio formed a company called George and Sons Incorporated. Today, Giorgio still works for Diamond Properties as a real estate foreman. Never stops. He's the ticking ever-ready rabbit. Pasqualina and Michele were his parents. Salvatore and Carmela were his siblings. In 1961, Giorgio came to America, the promised land. In 1966, he met the love of his life, who still is the love of his life, Bonnie, and they purchased a home in the Bronx. Think about it. 61, he comes to the U.S. 66, he buys a house. Only possible in America.
Only in America, yes.
He has 4 sons. God bless you. Antonio, Anthony, George, Pat, and Tom.
Yes.
6 grandchildren, which I'm sure he spends a lot of time with. In 1972, he came to Mayapack. This year, in 2016, Bonnie and Giorgio celebrated their 50th anniversary, and Giorgio celebrated his 75th, I should say his 25th birthday.
Yes.
He's in great shape.
Yeah.
Giorgio is a terrific member of the Italian American Club and a tremendous volunteer. Giorgio, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
How was life on the farm?
Not too good.
Why not?
I
Why?
used to do a lot of work, but no money.
No money. A lot of work, no money.
Yes.
Giorgio, why America? Why didn't you go to another part of the world? Why'd you come to America?
Because America, well, I had the opportunity to come here, and I'm very proud. And there is no other. I think there is no other country better than America.
Better than America.
Yes.
Spoken like a true immigrant, of which I am too.
Yes.
And I really, really believe that with all my heart.
Yeah,
With all my heart. Giorgio, what things were so difficult for you when you came to America in 1961?
The language, the first thing, and you know, I know I no car for the beginning. It was very hard to go to work to the job.
So you had to take buses and trains
Right, that's
and
it.
sometimes walk.
And they had to take me to the train the first week because I don't know where to go.
That's right.
But little by little, you know, I was very, 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 very proud, you know, the being, you know what I mean?
And you learned the language.
Yes,
And you learned everything about America.
yes,
That's the way to do it, Giorgio. Now, Giorgio, it's inconceivable. You're here 5 years as a young man. You and Bonnie get married, and then 5 years later, you buy a house.
yes.
How did you do it?
Well, I work pretty hard, you know.
Did you save? You didn't spend it all?
I said, no, not at all, no. You know, the first pay that I made, and let me tell you, when the first time that I went to the first job that I got, you know, the boss interviewed me, and he asked me what I wanted to do, and you know, I told him that I was going to, lay brick, and he says to me, you know what, I'll give you $5 an hour. To me, when he told me that, it was something out of this world, because $5 in Italy, and it was to make it for 1 week.
$5 an hour, not bad.
Right.
8 hours, hey, $40.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a, lot to me.
What do you want to tell? What do you want to tell every immigrant that comes to this country? What do you want to tell them?
What I want to tell them.
Yeah, what do you want to tell them?
I want to tell them this country is beautiful.
And does it give you an opportunity?
Yes, it'll give you opportunity. Whatever you want to do, if you work hard, you could do whatever you want. Nobody stops you. Do whatever you want to do. As long as you want to work, you do the right thing.
But now that brings me to another question. What gave you the courage to start your own company?
Well, I had 4 sons. And all the time they used to tell me, Daddy, why don't you work on your own? This way we can help you if we want to do what you do. But, I started for sure to them, I had to watch my work. So every time that I used to do job, I used to take with me and show to them what it was. And they started liking me, But to me, I told them all the time, listen, you want to work, for a little bit, but I want you guys to go to school. I don't want you to do the life that I do.
Why?
See how hard it is?
Why? Because it was hard work?
Hard work, yes, yes.
What do your sons do today?
Well, one, the first son, Anthony, is an electrician, and the George is a business manager, and my third boy is a doctor, and the
Little guy.
boy, the little guy, is a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
They're all professionals.
Thank God, yes. Thank God that, I'm happy and proud that they listen to me.
What did you do right to make them listen to you? How did you convince them to listen to you?
Whether that convinced them was because I took them to work with me and showed them how it was. And finally, thank God, they understood that, what I said was true. And today, thank God, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
And thank God that, in this country, what I say, we have the opportunity to do what we want to do. I think there is no other place you could do this.
Absolutely. I agree with you 300%. You should feel very proud of what you did and what they did. Giorgio, I need to hear from you what this thing called the American Dream is all about. Is it still alive today? Can you still grab the American Dream?
Yes, I will never stop that. Okay.
It's still there?
I love Italy, but American Dream, there is American Dream. That's it.
It's there.
You do what you want to do. If you do what I say, if you do the right thing, you do right, they're helping you any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Giorgio, you are the embodiment of what it means to be a successful immigrant in this country. Auguri, congratulations. You should be congratulated by your family, by your community, and this country should say to you, see, Giorgio did it. Anybody can do it.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Giorgio, how do you spend your days now? What do you do? Besides, you still work at Diamond Real Estate. Okay, what do you do? You spend a lot of time with the family?
I spend a lot of time with my family. I spend a lot of time with the Italian American Club. I enjoy with the Italian American Club. We play bocce, we play cards. We have a picnic. We have all a good time.
And tell me the last project that you did over here at the Italian American Club. What was the project?
We fixed the step in the front of the building.
In front of the building, and then you did the whole facing all over again.
Right, yes.
It looks like $1 million, Giorgio.
Thank you.
Did.
We all did it together with all the the members that
That's right.
They volunteered. Yes.
When I was searching for somebody to do all that work, I said, I got the right guy in mind, Giorgio Palmiero.
Yes.
And he's going to do a beautiful job, and a beautiful job it is.
We did it, together with my cousin, the way you said.
Yeah, I know.
The way,
Thank you, Giorgio. Thank you.
We were proud to do that, and we happy that looks good. That's
Absolutely. It makes the club look like a beautiful, beautiful place, which it is. Giorgio, I want to congratulate you on being such a successful immigrant to this country. You're the kind of person that builds this country up, and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Auguri to you and your family, and I want to thank you for being such a valued member of the Italian American Club.
Thank you.
Auguri. Thank you,
Grazie.
Giorgio.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take a short break here to set up for our next interviewees. Thank you for bearing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm sitting here with the founders of Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, Susan Solomon and Steve Solomon, husband and wife. Let me tell you a little bit about these folks. Susan was born, her roots are from Naples. She was born in the Bronx, grew up in the Bronx. Steve, his roots are from Calabria, born in the Bronx, grew up in Lower Westchester. Susan has an MA in counseling and also a CASAC-T. You got to tell me what that means. Okay? She's a certified New York State teacher, and she retired from teaching in 2013. Today, she is the executive director of Drug Crisis in Our Backyard. She loves to read. And let me tell you a little bit about Steve. I attended SUNY Albany with a BA in business. Right, Steve? Do I have you right here? His hobby is to work. He doesn't have any hobbies.
Horseback riding.
Oh, horseback riding. There you go. He was the VP of marketing at R&R Donnelly & Sons some years ago, director of commercial real estate and sales at Houlihan Lawrence Commercial Group currently. He's a big cheese, this guy. Susan and Steve have 3 surviving young adults. Susan, give us a little bit of the genesis of the organization, Drug Crisis in the Backyard. How did it come about?
We started Drug Crisis in our backyard after the death of our son, Justin, our oldest son, to a heroin overdose in 2012, May 29th, 2012. Actually, we started, right after he passed away, we had lived with his substance use disorder for 10 years. And at the time, Julia, we did not know it was a disease. We thought, it was a defect of character. There was something that he couldn't get right, that he was just not able to control his cravings, his urges. But in reality, we know now that it is a disease. So we lived with that for about 10 years. He passed away in 2012, and I had written an article to our local paper, Mayapack News. You know them
Sure.
very well, I'm sure.
Yes, we do.
And Brett Freeman published it, and a lot of people called us. And someone called us, her name is Carol Christensen, her and her husband called and said they buried their son that morning. That was June 14th, not 2 weeks after my son passed away. And we got together and we sat down and we said, we're not going to sweep this under the rug. This is something we're going to go public, which I had already done, but we're going to do more. And we named it Drug Crisis in our backyard, and that's how we started. And we had our first forum on August 9th, where we came out publicly and talked about the problem as we experienced it. And we found out that so many people in the community were dealing with the same problem and not talking about it because of the stigma, hiding in their houses, not knowing who to reach out to or how to deal with it. And that was the beginning of our organization.
Now, for you to take on this monumental task is truly monumental, Steve. I mean, why take on such a monumental task? What prompted you to really, okay, I'm not going to sit back here and cry every day and what happened to us and to the other family. What drove you to this?
What drove us, Julio, was right after Susan wrote the article in the Mayapack News that she just mentioned, a lot of people came forward to us, and as it was very surprising to us, there's a lot of people that we knew personally from work or from the community, and they said that they were suffering with the same problem. And my first question to them was, you've been keeping it a secret for so long. Why? And of course they said, well, we were embarrassed, we didn't realize, we thought we were the only ones. And we heard this over and over and over again from people we knew and from just acquaintances. So we realized that this was something that the community needed, and we felt we wanted to help people come out and drive awareness about it and let people know that it was nothing to be ashamed about, and that we need to come together as a community over it. And that's what drove us, was this sense of community and this sense that we were all suffering with this same thing, so we needed to open our doors to each other and try to help each other.
Okay. So why do people feel this stigma? Why do they want to hide from this tragedy that happened to their life?
I'll answer that question. I think it's because people, as Susan had mentioned it earlier, people think that when someone has a problem with drugs or alcohol, that it's a character defect or that it's a bad decision or they're bad people. And I think the people tend to want to hide that. Well, as we know now, that's not the case. People suffering with this illness are suffering with a disease in the same way that people suffer with cancer or heart disease or diabetes, and they need to be treated with help that way. But that there's still that feeling that there's something, it's a character defect. And
Or it's a family, or the family didn't do enough, or
the parents were bad parents, or they were raised improperly. So this is again part of our mission, is to try to get the word out that that's not the case.
It's amazing to me that today, with the problem being as large as it is, the medical community and the social services community doesn't treat it. Do you think that they really treat it as a disease?
It's becoming more apparent that people realize that this is a disease, at least in the treatment, in the area of treatment. People are really understanding that this is a disease. It has a name now. It's called substance use disorder.
Okay.
And it is covered by insurance. Care for it is covered by insurance. However, there is still such a stigma attached to it. There really is. And I think it's going to take a very, very long time with people that understand that this is a disease. And it's going to take a long time for things to change around that. Julio, when I was young, people didn't say...
Which you still are.
Well, when I was very young, they used to say, people would not say if they had cancer,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Or if they had breast cancer,
Yeah.
no one would
No,
ever say
right.
that.
He wouldn't dare.
And no,
Yeah.
and then it took 50 years for that to change.
Yeah.
So that people will tell each other if they have cancer. They used to call it the big C.
Yeah.
And, I think it's the same thing that has to happen with this. And it has to be a steady flow of information coming out to the public and people in authority coming out and talking about it, like our chief talked about
Yeah.
it, and our county executive talks about it. We have to have people up at the top talking about it. I wish we'd see some more of our candidates talking about
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Because this is the number one health problem in the country. In the country.
And it affects people of all ages, but it affects heavily our youngsters, which are the future of this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a part of our program is to try to get to the schools, to the school districts within
Yep.
Putnam County, because if you can get to them early enough with a prevention, before they get in the system, as they say, or before they're arrested, or they have a felony, or before they're addicted, you have much higher chance of success. It affects the quality of the community.
Sure it
as
does.
You know, and
Sure.
economically, it's dragging. It has a toll on the community, but in the quality of life, it has the ripple effect within these families that have this, that they're dealing with it, is very wide. So it affects a lot of people. And as they say, the expression is everybody knows somebody. It is literally true.
Yeah.
That everybody in this community knows somebody that's suffering.
That's suffering with it. Why do you think this problem is so prevalent in our communities?
I believe, just from all the information that I have, I know that this started in the late 90s. This particular heroin epidemic that we have right now started in the late 90s with marketing campaigns done by pharmaceutical companies to promote painkillers by saying that they weren't addictive. And in particular, OxyContin, which was patented in 1996 by Purdue Pharma, which is a private company made up of doctors, went out to doctors and said they spent $115 million on marketing campaigns over a 5-year period, telling doctors that only 1% of the people that take this will get addicted to it. So they opened up a Pandora's box back in 1996. And so 2001, all these drugs were on the street, and then it became a black market product, and so many the doctors were giving them out like candy, really. And in 2007, they pleaded guilty in New York for false advertising.
Wow.
Okay, and they paid $634 million, but it was too late.
Yeah.
The cat was already out of the bag.
Yeah.
And then New York State in 2012 adopted, or 2013 adopted the I-Stop law, which puts restrictions on opiates, prescription opiates, so people are turning to heroin. And that's how it's happening.
Yeah, sure. Now, you have a fabulous organization, heavily recognized throughout the community. Everyone knows you. What services do you provide to the community at large?
We have
You should take that. Go
Okay,
ahead.
we have support groups that we run in 3 different areas. We have one in Mayapack, one in Yorktown, and one in Dutchess County. And if you go to the Mayapack Yorktown group, you will have a support group every week to go to. So those are mutual aid groups for people that are living with people that have an addiction, okay? So I used to go to someplace called Al-Anon. People will recognize that as,
Yep.
a 12-step program. What we found from having our community forums and reaching out to people was that people didn't want to go to Al-Anon because it is a spiritual program, it's a 12-step, there's a lot of structure around it. So we started a group that has less structure, but people could come in, they could talk about their sick loved ones. I mean, people want to talk about the people in their family that are not well, and, because there's no way to talk about it. So we started that as a support group. We also have an office now at 16 Fair Street, so we see people. They can just walk in, we'll give them literature, we'll direct them to places that do evaluation. We do not do assessment or evaluation. We also do early intervention for parents that think their kids might have a problem. We will do an education program with them, 3 hours, with the parents and the teenagers, and give them information on what this really is, substance use disorder, and things that they can do to help their kids.
And that's a new program that we're just starting, Julio,
Okay.
and actually we're working with the judicial, with several judges locally, and we're trying to work with the police department now, the sheriff's department, and we're going to be working with the schools, because we feel that for somebody that's experimenting with drugs, that's a excellent time to get involved with them, to let them know the dangers, get their parents involved, and let them see, how serious a problem they could be developing,
Sure.
and because they think it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So you want to get them at that early intervention
Yeah.
stage.
A rite of passage that hooks you for life.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Schools are extremely important, obviously. I know that you go to the Mayapack schools, you go to
Yes.
the Carmel
Budd
schools.
Valley, we've been to
Budd
Budd Valley
yes.
many times. It's a very, everybody in this community in Putnam County has been so warm and welcoming to us. And that's one reason why we've been able to do what we are doing. And
Yeah.
you asked Steve in the beginning why, and why would we take on this task? And I know for me, it's for my son. It's for Justin. It's so that I can talk about Justin, and I could say all the great person he was.
Right.
And to keep his memory alive in this community. People come up to me and say, I went to school with your son. He was such a great kid, and he was. And it's also to make his death meaningful.
His life is meaningful. His life was very meaningful. We feel that Justin's existence here on this planet has saved many, many lives.
Yeah,
And that's
by your work.
through
Yes.
our work, through
Yeah.
our hands. But that's what we get up in the morning, and that's how we face the day.
That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Contact info that you want to give out?
Okay, we have, our office is at 16 Fair Street in Carmel, right near Carmel High School. Our phone number is 845-842-1212, and we have a website at drugcrisisinoutbackyard.org.
.org.
And we have Facebook pages. We have a private group for those that want to have a more intimate, personal sharing experience. So it's on Facebook, it's Drug Crisis in Our Backyard. But we also have a public page for a little bit more informal, information sharing about the things that we do.
This organization, the name is so apropos. Drug Crisis in Our Backyard. Our kids play in our backyard, but there's also danger in our backyard. And Linda did a presentation on the theme of this year's festivities early on. It's a mosaic of caring for our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is all made up of backyards, and you are playing so beautifully in that backyard. Thank you. What do you need from the people of Putnam County? What do you need from legal, police, legislation? What is it that you need?
Keep the conversation going. We feel we've been embraced. The police department has embraced us, the sheriff department, the judicial system, and the schools. When we first started, the schools were not as open, but as time went on, we found that the schools had opened their doors to us. So we're finding people more and more welcoming to us. But we think it's important because denial in the community is a dangerous thing with the parents. So we want to keep the conversation going and to continue to support the efforts and for parents to continue to talk to their kids.
Susan, what do you wish to tell the families and the youngsters of this community? As a final
I would tell the
comment.
families, the parents, something different than I would tell the kids. I would tell the parents that experimentation is not an option, that it should be zero tolerance in your house, that the longer that you can push off that first use, the better chance that your child will not get addicted, because use in adolescence multiplies the chances of becoming an addict like 15 times. So if you could push it off till they're 18, get in, they're probably going to try some alcohol when they get in college, no matter what you do. But I would tell parents, zero tolerance. I would tell kids, They are playing with fire. It's a lot more serious than they think it is. And kids are kind of difficult to deal with because they think that the risky behavior, they like it, they're immortal. They feel that
Yeah.
they can't get hurt.
Invincible, yeah. Yeah.
Invincible.
Until it's too late.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I want to thank you because I think both of you are doing God's work. I
Well,
really
we have to say, Julio,
Yeah.
you're embracing us
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Italian American Club is an honor, and we are flattered, and what you're doing for the community is outstanding.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you very much.
Don't thank me too much. The real work is being done by both of you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm a parent of 3 children. They're older, but there were temptations, I'm sure, when they were growing up. And as I see, I'm a teacher by trade. My wife teaches. She sees this every single day. And the work that you're doing is invaluable. I really believe it's God's work. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
pleasure.
much. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw an organization that's making a difference in our community, day in, day out. Thank God that they're here, because as a result of their work, they will be able to save lots of youngsters and help lots of families. We will take a short break for our final segment of the interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final segment of the interviews. I'm sitting here with 2 beautiful young ladies. We have, to my left, I have Little Miss Columbus 2016, Juliana Curran. Look at that smile. To my right, I have our 2016 Miss Columbus, Amanda Ippolito. I say it the right way.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about Juliana first. Juliana Curran is a 5.5 years old young lady. She attended Kids Cottage Preschool Academy in Mayapack for 3 big years, and will start kindergarten in Lakeview coming this September. All right, Juliana, you're going to go to K. She has taken ballet and tap at the Penny Lane Dance Company for 3 years and has performed in many dance recitals. Juliana loves to paint, dance, sing, and play. She lives in Mayapack with her parents, Craig and Gina, and her big sister, Vanessa, and her dog, Spanky. You like Spanky? When she gets older, she will love to become an artist and paint like Michelangelo. You like the Michelangelo paintings? Yeah, you've seen it? Good. Now, did you enjoy yourself in preschool?
Yes.
Did you play? What kind of things did you do?
Painted.
You painted every day? Good for you. Are you happy to go to K now at Lakeview?
Mhm.
You're going to make a lot of friends there?
Yeah.
Do you know any other kids that are going there with you?
No.
Not yet, right? But you're going to make a lot of friends the first day, I know that. Right? Do you like to dance? I hear you like to dance.
Yes.
What kind of dance do you like to dance there?
Tap.
Oh, why tap?
Cause.
You like tap more than ballet? Oh, good. Do you like performing on the stage?
Yes.
Yeah? In front of a lot of people? Do you perform for mom and dad too? Mommy and daddy? When? Every night or just a special night of the week?
Special night.
Special night. Good for you. Now you want to be an artist. And what kind of things do you want to paint?
Flower.
Flowers? Very nice. What kind of flowers? Any specific flowers?
Daisies.
Daisies. I love daisies. The white or the yellow daisies?
The white.
The white. Okay. I think the yellow ones are called something different. I don't know. Whatever. Tell me something. Who do you love the most in this world? Mom and Daddy. Who do you love the most?
Mommy and Daddy.
Mommy and Daddy. And they love you so much. I know that. Good. Are you happy to be a little Miss Columbus? Very nice. We are happy that you are a little Miss Columbus. Oh, what a smile. Give me 5. Good girl. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Juliana Curran, okay, the future star whose work we're going to see in the Louvre, okay? Very nice, Juliana. Let me tell you a little bit about our Miss Columbus. Amanda Ippolito, our 2016 Miss Columbus, from Mayapack. She is, wow, 16 years old. You're so old. She attends Mayapack High School and she is going into junior year. Very nice. She loves to sing soul singing, soul. And she's been dancing since she was 3 years old. That is so beautiful. She's an aspiring artist. She would like to make a career in the music business. Make a lot of money there.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget your parents and and your community.
Yeah.
She takes pride in her academic work. I stress again, she takes pride in her academic work, which is absolutely important.
Yes.
She competed in the Italian American club Putnam's Got Talent show, and she came very close to winning. But she won Miss Columbus. She will be singing at the Evening in the Piazza on September the 30th.
Yes.
But that voice, we want her to sing.
Thank you.
Amanda, why music?
Music's always been there for me. It's always been something that I'm just passionate about. It's been there since I was little, and it's been something I've always gone back to when there's been a rough time or something along those lines has always been there for me.
Good. Soul music. Why soul music?
Ooh, soul music I've recently fell in love with. As a little girl, I loved country music, but I kind of discovered soul and R&B, and I was like shocked. I was like, how did I not see this before? And I fell in love with it. So.
Very nice. Very nice. What subjects do you most enjoy at Mayapack High School?
Definitely English. I love to write, and the sciences. It's surprising because I never thought I'd mix the two, but I do, and I absolutely love science. I love chemistry. I love biology. It's really interesting.
So someday, in making your career in music, you like to write your own songs?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Well, we're going to be looking for that. All right.
Thank you. I hope so.
Are you involved at Mayapack High School? What are you involved in?
I'm involved in Illusion, which is a
Oh, yeah.
concert put on every year, and it's basically about 20 musicians in my school that get together and we put on a concert, and it's been the best experience ever. I'm also I've been in biology club. I've been in a couple other clubs after school that are great for community service and helping everything.
Good. Now you're going to have to join the Italian club at the high school,
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Rocco.
in that too. I'm
oh,
in
you
that
are?
too,
Okay,
yes.
good. Very nice. Recitals. You have done a number of recitals. You want to tell us about them?
Sure. So aside from Illusion as a music recital, I've done dance recitals since I was 3, Juliana's age, and yes, it's been amazing. Performing on stage is my absolute favorite thing to do in the entire world.
We know.
Yeah. yes, it's my favorite thing.
Mr. Pilsnitzky now is the Illusion director?
Yes.
He's,
Yes.
he's quite good.
He's great. He's great.
He looks like he's 16 himself, right?
I know.
Still. After high school, what are your plans?
After high school, my goals are to be successful in the music industry and
But you want to go to college?
oh, right. Yes, of course. I want to go to a performing arts school, and I want to major in either singing or dancing. I want to have like a plan B in the sciences or in English.
So you want to be a singing doctor, maybe?
Sure, yeah, there we go. Just, the music industry is very rough, and it's tough to break, so if I'm not as successful as I'd want to be, I would love to revert to writing or something like that.
Well,
So.
there are people who have gone into one career and then they say, well, wait a minute, I want to shift a little bit, so you could do that too.
Yes.
So, 16 years old, your options are immense.
Yes.
The world is in the palm of your hand.
It's true.
Who has influenced you most in your life?
I've had a lot. I've had a lot of inspirations. I think my parents are my number one inspirations because they've always been so supportive, and they show me how to work really, really hard and, know what you want and how to get there. As for music, Taylor Swift is a huge influence on me because I've fell in love with her when I was little, and her music has endlessly inspired me.
Who do you admire?
I admire my friends. I think it's really, really interesting to learn how to be good people from the people that surround you and how to bring in really good people in your life and learn from them. So I admire all of my friends.
Do you feel like you can influence them in a positive way?
Yes, for sure. I mean, there's so many rough things going on around us, and my group of friends seem to kind of stay away from that and be under the radar, and I think it's important to stick together with that, you know, when it comes to drugs and alcohol and all the really serious things, we kind of stick together and inspire each other.
What message are you going to take back to them, to your group of friends, based on what you heard from the Marshalls and from the Solomons?
I will take everything that I heard back to them. I will tell them how really important it is to stay away from the bad stuff and how it's not a trend to do drugs. It's not cool to be like everyone else. You have to be different, and you have to learn from these people who have been through all of it and have been impacted so greatly by it. And that's what I'd tell them. I'd tell them that it's important to stay that way, to stay clean.
Yeah, you know, we as adults can speak until we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does get through to
Right,
youngsters.
right, yeah.
But you know who gets through to youngsters? You do, because you're a
Thank you.
youngster yourself.
Thank you.
So the best influence is from peer pressure,
Right.
positive peer pressure.
Right.
So
Yes.
remember that. It's your duty as a youngster to stay clean and influence positively your friends.
Yes, yes.
So, what does it mean to have been chosen 2016 Miss Columbus?
Oh, it's such an honor. It really is. The Italian American Club is so awesome. Everything you guys have done and the positive impact you've had on everyone is incredible, and it's really nice to be a part of that, be involved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you represent us very well,
Thank
Amanda.
you.
And Juliana, you represent us very well as well. So we'd like to thank you both for doing such a great job as our little Miss and Miss 2016. We will have more fun at the dinner dance, at the parade, the piazza. So I invite you to join in all those things.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for having
again,
us.
thank you for being here with us and for
Thank
being
you.
patient.
Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here sitting with me is the future of America, and there could not be two more talented young kids to represent us this year. Okay, we are so very proud of these Americans of Italian heritage, especially during these very difficult times for our country and for our world. We appreciate these proud and great contributors to our community and to our country. To the Marshalls, I say, thank you for being such great role models for our community. And to our special honorees, thank you for really doing God's work in our community. Thank you. We will take a short break and we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed getting to know our special honorees this evening. In closing, I would like to remind you of a couple key dates coming up. Again, September 30th is our evening in the piazza, right here downtown Mahopac. October the 1st, Saturday, October 1st, is our big parade, one of the largest parades in New York, in downtown Mahopac. So please come on out and join us. The parade will step off at 10:30 a.m., followed by the Chamber of Commerce street festival at 12:30. Okay, if you wish to march or need more information, please visit our website, once again, ItalianAmericanClubOfMahopac.org, or call me directly, 845-745-2655. And now, our thanks. We would like to thank some special people, again, the committee that makes all these events possible. and all the participants today. You are super. Thank you very much. We'd like to especially thank our Chief of Police, our Grand Marshal this year, Mr. Michael Casari, our Honorary Grand Marshals, Mrs. Diane Tarantelli and Mr. Giorgio Palmiero, Susan and Steve Salomon from Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, our charity this year, Juliana Curum, our Little Miss Columbus, Amanda Ippolito, our Miss Columbus for 2016. These are dedicated people to our community, and we love them. I also would like to thank my co-hosts who were on earlier, Linda Cefaloni, the chairwoman of the Journal, and Tom Phelan, our vice president of the Italian American Club. I also like to take this opportunity to thank the community merchants who support us each and every year in the Journal. Please frequent our local businesses and let's keep shopping in Putnam County. Last but not least, I'd like to express our deep appreciation for my dear friend and cameraman, Nick Scafidi, who is just wonderful and makes everything work for us. And many other folks behind the scenes, thank you. You make so many things possible. I really thank you. Until next year, we invite all of you to join in all our Columbus Day festivities. Come and have fun with us. Buona salute e arrivederci. God bless America and keep our world safe. Ciao.